Recently, the wisdom of our manned space flight program to the moon has been seriously questioned. Our Senate Space Committee, of which I'm a member, just completed hearings on this matter yesterday. One of the outstanding scientists who appeared before us and testified was Dr. Lloyd V. Berkner, whose home is in Fort Lauderdale. He's president of the Graduate Research Center at Dallas, Texas. I can't give his complete background in these brief moments, but he helped explore Antarctica as a scientist with the first bird expedition and has since been a leading scientist in the fields of electronics, geophysics, and space science. I'm happy to welcome you to my program today, Dr. Berkner.
Senator Holland, it's a great pleasure for a fellow Floridian to be here with you.
Well, thank you, sir. You testified the day before yesterday before the Space Committee, Dr. Berkner. Could you, in your limited time, outline the reasons which you gave us there so ably for supporting the continuance of our manned space program and the exploration of the moon?
Senator Holland, space really breaks down into four major objectives. These objectives are science, the civil applications, the military applications, and out of these grow very important political objectives. I could speak at length about science, but of course we're interested in exploring space so that we can better understand our own Earth by the exploration of what's around it, what it meets as it courses through its orbit, and how it was formed from a knowledge of formation of the moon and the other planets. I could go on in detail with regard to the scientific experiments that could be done that will aid us here on Earth. But of course, we're all immensely curious about whether there is life on other planets and what this life, what forms it might take. Beyond this, of course, we all know about the civil applications and the military applications. We recall that an enemy could do things that are inimical to our own national interests. And consequently, we must be able to counter such activities. After all, if we can conduct surveillance from space, it may be the means of calming the nerves of a very jittery world. The political objectives necessarily grow out of the fact that the capability that our nation can demonstrate in its space explorations represents a high level of technological dexterity. This technological dexterity is essential in the conduct of our negotiations with other nations, and it can be demonstrated in our space activities. So as I see it, whether we like it or not, the race with the Russians is inevitable. The landing of a man on the moon has both political overtones and very imperative scientific needs, because the comprehension that a man can exercise in managing the instruments is essential to good scientific work in space. I would say, Senator Holland, that our nation has proceeded with great maturity, the Congress and the administration, in generating orderly objectives looking to the achievement of this goal.
Well, I'm glad to have that verdict from you, Dr. Berkner. While this program means a great deal to our state from the standpoint of our own economics, for instance, for fiscal 64, $312 million are to be spent at Canaveral, yet the people of our state, I'm sure, will want to feel that sound national objectives are involved in the expenditure of any such large sum of money. And I know they'll be glad to hear your expression on this subject matter.
Well, I've been delighted to have joined you here today, Senator Holland.
Thank you very much, Dr. Berkner.